104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. This is it's a true honor, especially for Mr. Syracuse over here, to be sitting across from Mrs. 88, John Mackey, Sylvia Mackey. We all know what an amazing tight end he was. We all know what an amazing athlete he was. Tell us about the man. How amazing of a man was he?
He was absolutely fantastic in that he cared for everybody. He was always advocating for the downtrodden, for the people who needed help. So this is so fitting now that I'm a part of after the Impact Fund,
yeah.
Right? Because this is reaching out to families who might have a player or end up in his position with a neurological debilitating disease or other issues. This is about finding out where your NFL benefits are and what is available, not only for former athletes but also for veterans, because we found that veterans also have the same issue.
There are times it's amazing too, because you and I talked a little bit before we hit the air about the moment when he returns to Syracuse.
Yes.
He's at the Carrier Dome, and he's honored by Orange football fans again, and how amazing that moment was for you and for him returning to Central New York.
It was fantastic because he was back on the football field that he played on, even though there's a dome over it now. And the fans were screaming for him because he was honored at halftime at one of the games. And he shook everybody's hand, like, as they said, like he was running for office when he left the field. And football followed him all the way until he couldn't remember anything at all. He would always hold up his Super Bowl, his Hall of Fame ring, and he'd say, I ran 75 yards in Super Bowl 5. And it was as if he played football almost to the end. In fact, one day I said to him, honey, I think the Ravens, because we're living in Baltimore, I think the Ravens need a tight end this Sunday. Well, he knew enough to say, well, only if they're going to pay me $1 million. He knew that the salaries had gone up, and to say that. And then he'd sit back and he'd have a pensive look on his face and he'd say, but I haven't practiced. Right. See, and you can laugh at those moments even though you know that it's caused by the illness, but it's a light moment. It's a moment to enjoy. And that's why if another football wife wanted to call after the Impact Fund to find out something about the disease, I can relate a story like that. It's like a support group. I can tell them what I went through and help them maybe lighten their load. It's okay to laugh. It was even funny when I said to him one day, honey, there's something wrong with you. And he said, the only thing wrong with me is you. See? I love that reaction. See? It's okay.
Sylvia Mackey with us right now, the wife of John Mackey. He was like ahead of his time too. He was a tight end that didn't only block; he caught the football. Nowadays they're glorified wide receivers.
Yes,
he was ahead of his time.
Yes, and he passed the torch to Tony Gonzalez in a little TV documentary that I wish I had a copy of now. That was shot in California, passing the torch from one of the greatest tight ends of that century to the greatest tight end of the next century. And Tony has turned out to be that. So maybe that was a good omen, huh? Right. And then on top of that, for Mike Ditka, my man Mike, to be the first tight end in the Hall of Fame, and John Mackey loved that. We were watching the Today Show when Mike went into the Hall of Fame, and Mike said on TV, I don't know how I got in before John Mackey. And John said, I know why. And he said, you were better, like that.
Wow.
But John loved it that Mike had included him on that, because John didn't really know how great he was. Because he said he wasn't playing to be in the Hall of Fame. He was playing to be the best that he could be.
Wow. What's your daily like now going on, and how are you being able to continue to help some of the football wives who might be dealing with some issues at post-football playing careers?
I am available to give advice, and the biggest advice is if you want an answer to any question, you register at the
After the Impact Fund?
After the impactfund.org. Register, sign up. It's a passworded private group, so we're not discussing all of your issues out there. And you can get answers to questions to find doctors, what to do next, what the progression of the disease was from me and my experience, because everybody's is different. But one thing, you've got to face the facts. And get out of denial. you have to know where it's going and do your research, and we can help with that with After the Impact Fund.
Sylvia, Mackey, we appreciate your time. We love your message, and I have to tell you, we have had a lot of people confront this issue with us. You're the only one who's done it with a bold smile on your face, and we love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go Orange.
All right, go Orange.